guys, it's your boy Az. We are back here with another episode regarding the Thunderstrike raids, and this is actually a question that I've been getting asked quite a bit actually over Discord, over YouTube as well, and even private DMs, and I figured I would address it in one foul swoop. I feel like it is a pretty good question, and that's kind of why I wanted to make a video of it. And then when I was thinking about it this morning, I realized, oh man, Az, maybe you should have did this before the Thunderstrike raids were actually live, and it might have been a little bit more beneficial for people. However, there is still 2 runs of it left, and hopefully this information helps you out with regards to how many characters I need. And if you aren't able to participate in these raids, then I hope this information helps you moving forward when it does come back. Because yeah, the Quasar, the Blastar, they've been coming back every month, and it's a regular occurrence. And it's kind of started like in the summertime, right? They had the this Annihilus chapters and all this other stuff, and it started way back in the summer of 2025. So of course, this is only the 4th. This is technically the first time Thunderstrike is back after his chapter ended, but it's the 4th time that these raids have been going on. And of course as well, I was very pleased to see that the rewards and everything hadn't changed. So fingers crossed it does come back in some shape or form, and hopefully they retain the lots of the key materials and the passives and the red stars and the diamonds, because it is beneficial for a lot of the new players, for a lot of the end game players, for a lot of the mid players, and of course not everyone's gonna be able to get access to them right away. But anyways, I'm kind of getting a little bit long-winded here, so I apologize for that. So let's jump into it. How many characters do I need? So that is a great question, and I think this little image kind of captures it all, because this basically shows a lot of the key characters that people have used. Now I don't have everybody on here. There's Winter Guard. There's also the the new Mutants as well. But these are the ones that I have leveled up, and I thought that was relevant because some of you guys do level similar character strategies as me as well, because we kind of try to get value for our buck, and of course as well, you'll see here that there's a lot of raid teams here. The Vigilantes and the Insidious and the Immortal weapons, they're all raid teams, right? Now, bringing out Winter Guard, bringing out new Mutants, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just I didn't choose that path. So for the purposes of this video, I will be strictly sticking with kind of these 4 teams. And to me, it makes a lot of sense because they are raid-based teams, and a lot of people would have geared up a lot of these teams. Like Vigilante, I think is kind of pretty much the given. Everyone had it from the start of the chapters, and then of course, later down the road, then we had Insidious 6 and Brimstone joining us with regards to Battle World, and of course the next tech raid team. So it just kind of made sense. You guys will also see that I did not bring up my Superior Spider-Man or my Hobgoblin and Scorpion because I didn't want them into diamonds, because I feel like it shows a good representation that you can do it with less stars. And I know some people have pushed their characters to level 110, and you guys will see here pretty much every single character here is 105. Now keep in mind, I don't have Fantastic Four in this lineup as well, but Fantastic Four is able to work as well on some of the nodes. But I did find that it was easier with Vigilantes and or Vigilante, I don't know, Vigilantes. We'll just stick with that. But anyways, do keep in mind Fantastic Four will also work. But again, if we're aiming for maximum efficiency, and given the resource crunch, given how strapped we are for everything right now, I wanted to kind of get this video out to you guys so that it gives you an estimate understanding of what to do and how you can min and max the milestones, while also trying to focus your resources on key characters as well for raids. So again, this is kind of just an overview of the characters, but these are the ones that I will be kind of talking about in my guide. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. I'm just saying this is the way that I did it. And if you have new Mutants, if you have Winter Guard, if you have Fantastic Four, if you have Blastar, those are all just extra key pieces that you can use. Call it the cherry on top, so to speak. So now, if you guys don't know what Thunderstrike Raids is, it's the version of the raids that's in the the raids. And again, there's essentially 7 nodes here, and I call them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, some people also, note it down as 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth node is the boss, and then 5, 6, and then this is another boss node, so 7, and then 8 and 9, and then 10. So theoretically, there is 10 nodes in total, but because the bosses are optional, and I find it very confusing, people are like saying node 4, but then they're also referring to this node. So for the for nomenclature's sake and for the purposes of this video, we're just going to X out the bosses. We're not including the bosses in this. We're just going to kind of note it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, because I feel like that's the easiest way. Optional nodes, I mean, they're technically, you don't really need to do them unless you want the extra points for the cosmetic stuff, but again, it depends on who you are and if you want to go for those, but our alliance doesn't care, so we don't really care either. So anyways, 7 nodes, 3 optional bosses. Maybe I should have started and hit the next slide there, but anyways, hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully that yeah. And then what I'll talk about briefly here is there is one specific team here. The Immortal weapons. That's going to be able to allow you to get 4 out of the 7 nodes. So if from an efficiency standpoint, and if you didn't have the other teams built up, you could theoretically do 4 nodes or 5 essentially, because yeah, if you're able to do node 2 with this team, you also do 1. So you can basically get 5 nodes with 1 team. So if you were strapped for resources, or you haven't built up any of the characters that I've talked about, and Thunderstrike Raids is coming back, then for sure I would recommend you building the Immortal weapons, because it's going to hit basically 5 of the 7 nodes with 1 team. Then I kind of listed here 4 nodes, Stormbound, right? So this is important here because it gives you the guaranteed red star unlock, and I do see that the lock here is it's just a little bit sideways here, so you guys can't see it, but we'll move it back into place. So this is kind of the way to go if you guys want that red star unlock. You only really need 3 to 4 nodes for the 7 red. So if you want the 7 red Thunderstrike, this is the way to go, guys. Even if you don't have Stormbound, you can also, we can talk about the other ways we can get the other ones. But anyways, so if you want most value out of your buck and you don't want to level up more than 5 characters, do the Immortal weapons. You're going to hit at least 5 of the nodes. You're going to get the 7 red unlock. Easy peasy. So let's talk about the first team. So Vigilantes, this is the team that everyone kind of has. So the full Vigilantes will work on the first node, but it does become quite a bit harder when you don't have Quasar in the 3rd node, because that's when you kind of need him again, and you got to bring what is it, like the Harbingers, right? And again, with 2 nodes, and with this team, if you're able to do 2 nodes per raid, you're gonna get 6 in total, and you're gonna be able to get that 4 red unlock. So this, at its simplest form, is probably the most free-to-play accessible approach, because a lot of people have Vigilantes built up. My baby account is definitely he's getting there, but it's still gonna take some time, and it's definitely gonna be a while, I think, before they can, before he gets there. It's going to take some time for sure. So the next team here is this Insidious 6. Similar thing as well. If you don't have Vigilantes and somehow you miraculously have Insidious 6 instead of Vigilantes, same strategy. They will also be able to do the 2 nodes, because they'll be able to do the starting node, and they'll also be able to do the node that requires the Conqueror's tag. And again, here we'll just kind of go into the section here so I can show you guys again. So the first node, you can pretty much use whatever. You don't even have to use Vigilantes. I didn't do it in my videos, but you can if you want. And again, you're going to be able to hit the first one and the 3rd node. So that's going to get you 6 in total out of the 3 raids, and that's going to give you overall the that 4 red that we talked about. So I think this is kind of the, at minimum, this is kind of what people want to get in terms of getting access to him at the start, if you were just looking for the base minimum unlock. Now, same thing again here. The arrow here is a little small, but yeah, you'll be able to hit the first node with Insidious 6. Fairly easy. These guys will just walk over the node, and then you all the way. You're gonna skip this node. You're gonna skip that one. You're gonna skip those, and then you're gonna be able to get to this section here where you can use the Insidious 6. Now, keep in mind, even though you're skipping these nodes, there is still requirements for the teams, and I don't remember if it's like level 85 or 90 or something. So even though you are skipping these non-Thunderstruck nodes, they are still fairly challenging, because my baby account can't do these nodes. So I think at minimum you still got to be like level 90, level 95 or whatever. But if you have these guys at tier 20, then I can only imagine you're probably at least 105 already. So these nodes will be a cakewalk. So regardless, so that you'll be able to get those done fairly easy and fairly straightforward. I just don't want you assuming you can do it at any level. You still have to be end game ish, and I think you have to be at minimum, I think, level 100 to even do any of the, or level 105 maybe, depending on, yeah, just depends on your gear, depends on your characters. But anyways, I don't know if I made more of a mess there by mentioning that. But anyways, moving on. So this is probably the most common team that people have. Vigilantes, because there was a raid team that was built up, and then on top of that they have Brimstone for Battle World, and Brimstone has been out for quite some time now, so this is probably the most common method. And actually this team isn't bad. You can actually get 4 nodes per run with just these two teams alone. So that what that means is it's going to guarantee you the 7 red unlock, and it's going to get you some low ions as well here, because by the time you get to 12, this will be your maximum. You're going to be able to get some L5 ions as well as some L4s, and yeah, it helps if you are interested in building Blue Marvel. And we'll kind of go over there in the map as well here, and I'll kind of talk about the 4 nodes. Again, Vigilantes hits the first node and the 3rd node, so we already know that. And then Brimstone, this is nice because you don't even need tier 20 here. You can have tier 19 on the 2nd node. So theoretically, even if you don't have these guys at tier 20, you can get a 3 nodes, and theoretically you can get that 6 red unlock. But however, don't fret, because if you are able to get through this node, the 2nd one, and you do have these guys at tier 20, Brimstone will make a joke out of this node here. Brimstone does have a very difficult time with node 4 and node 6. It's not doable. If you do, the only way you can do those nodes is if you have probably level 110. You have to have a Winter Guard or some sort of SAC team or Immortal weapons. But again, that is over investing what we need to do, and we don't need to do that. Having these 10 characters right here, and maybe you already have 5 of these characters. Maybe you only need to work on, maybe you already have Daemon. Maybe you only need to get Living Mummy and the other 3, and you're solid. And do keep in mind, guys, this is interchangeable. You don't need Elsa or Hellcat or even Doctor Strange. If you have Thunderstrike in here as well, he is a good sub-in. But for the purposes of this video, and assuming you don't have Thunderstrike available, then do the full 5 Brimstone. That's gonna work for you guys. And again, I have other footage of other alternate teams like the 3-piece Immortal weapons, but it just gets a little bit more complicated because then you do need very specific characters. But for simplicity's sake, this is kind of the way to go here, and I think this is probably where I would say everybody that I've talked to, 70 to 80% of people have this team. So this is probably the most common team, like I said. So we'll go into the next node here now. This is probably the ideal team for maximum efficiency. And the reason being is you're going to be able to have the 5 Vigilantes that you've already built up. And then on top of that, you have, this Immortal weapon team as well. And this is important because both teams are raid. Immortal weapons is the new Mystic team. You're going to be able to do 6 nodes per run of the Thunderstrike. What that means is you're going to be able to get 18,000 points in total. That means you're going to be able to get the 7 red unlock. That means you're going to be able to get the Awaken passive. And on top of that, because you're hitting 18,000, you're also going to be able to get this passive, which I believe is the oh no, it's the same picture here. Sorry, I'm just dumb. Yeah, sorry. You'll be 18,000, so you'll essentially be 1 off from this 19,000, which puts you in a good situation if you want to push for the diamond, if you have other additional teams available to you. If you have the Insidious 6 team, then you're able to kind of do that last node here. And actually that I'll just switch over to the node here. I should have did that before I said that, but anyways, so you're going to do the Vigilantes, and it's going to hit 1 and 3 again. The Immortal weapons is going to take down node 2 for you. The Immortal weapons is going to take down node 4 for you. Very easy as well. And if you guys follow my strategy, you'll be able to take down node 6 as well. Again, avoiding Gladiator, avoiding the Thanos endgame, and focusing on the left end and keeping these guys in check until the North Star drops. And with immunity, safeguard, the Immortal weapons is going to cakewalk it. And then again, if you guys saw my earlier video today, we do the final node 7 as well with the Immortal weapons with a double sack technique, but it will work. You guys will be able to hit all 6 nodes just with these 10 characters. If you already have 5 of these characters and you only need 5 more characters, well, now you have a game plan. You can basically build up these 5 characters, and you're going to be able to unlock essentially 6 out of the 7 nodes. And now this missing one here, this is the one that becomes a pain in the ass, because you can use Fantastic Four, you can use Blastar, you can use Quasar, but it's still very reliant on the Insidious 6 team, and even a built-up Insidious 6 team will still have struggle with it. But if that's the only one you're missing and you feel like you're able to push it, then of course you can bring in that Insidious 6 and you're able to get all 7 nodes and unlock everything. You're going to be able to get all his diamonds. You're going to be able to get all his awakened passive for the ultimate, for the basic, everything. Everything is in your grasp, which is awesome, actually. So again, yeah, I keep getting ahead of myself here with the slides. Once you bring that Insidious 6 here, you're gonna get everything. You're gonna get the diamonds, the passives, the ultimate passives, the basic passive, everything. You'll have the ultimate form of Thunderstrike before Annihilus comes. So again, these are 15 characters that you can kind of strive for and work for. And again, I do like this because they're all raid teams, right? These are all raid teams, and this, you know, I feel like for the most part makes it so it's very easy and attainable for people. If you're like me and you're heavily raid focused and you kind of avoid war, avoid Cosmic Crucible, then this is kind of the way to go. You don't need to get all the other fluff. If you have Daemon and you have some of the other Brimstone members, check out my footage because there are some alternate ways we can get around it. But you can also private message me or DM me on YouTube or wherever, and I can hopefully troubleshoot you guys through it. Otherwise, guys, again, just kind of getting on myself here again with the talking. This kind of captures it well. You're going to have the Vigilantes hitting nodes 1 and 3. You're going to have the Immortal weapons hitting 2, 4, 6, 7. And then, of course, the last one is the Insidious 6 team, which I already mentioned before, where they can basically hit everything. And this is what everybody wants. Everybody wants all the rewards, ideally, but of course, you know, maybe it's not always possible. And yeah, if it does come back, and I feel like with Scopely, they've spent a lot of time on this damn raid, right? They've spent a lot of time, and they're not just going to trash it. They're not going to shelf it. They're going to bring it back. They're going to bring it back again because they want people getting access to it. It's also a nice way, actually. We're farming sort of kind of the ions as well, right? They've if you do, so I've been doing these Thunderstrike raids since it started, and every time we do it, we always get about 800,000 of these ions. So people are like, "Oh, Az, how come you have so many ions?" Well, when I started doing this, I was easily getting these ions, and I mean, look, I think war rewards only give us about 150 to 200. So when we get 800,000, we're literally getting like you know, because war's every 2 weeks, we're getting like 8 weeks worth of ions in a single event, right? Which is kind of bonkers when you put it that way, right? So again, guys, hopefully this has made sense. Again, lots of characters to choose from, lots of characters to pick from, and I did not go over the Winter Guards or the like I said, the Blast Star or the New Mutants, because yeah, those teams were just not something that I was interested in. But for those people that do have you know, New Mutants built up, you are able to use that on the last node. New Mutants actually works on this one as well. You're able to do a sack wave with Immortal weapons, and then New Mutants can come and clean up the loose change. I didn't see the footage of it, but somebody on my Discord did post it and told me about it. So I said, oh, cool, I'm gonna definitely mention that then. So yeah, so New Mutants will work, but again, it all depends on what kind of game you're playing. And right now, with the resource crunch being as high as it is, and all these characters we have to bring up now, and now with Eclipse and you know, with Maestro, whoever, yeah, it's just so much going on. So I don't know. Yeah, I apologize. I apologize again because I wish I would have got this out to you guys sooner so you can kind of get a better overview. But having said that, hopefully it gives you guys a better idea of where to go from here, and whether you guys decide to, you know, like sit out, or you don't want to partake in it, or you know, maybe you're waiting for the next run of it. I do want to say again that there's lots of different strategies we can do it. Like I said, minimum unlock, we can go with 2 nodes, or the Insidious 6. That's going to get you, like I said, that 4 red unlock. If you're looking for the most commonly team, the Brimstone, this is going to get you a guaranteed 7. On top of that, it will also get you some L4s and L5s, so that's also a way to go as well. And if you're looking for maximum efficiency, the Immortal weapons is the best way to go here. You're going to get that awakened passive, you're going to get the 7 red easy, and you're also going to get some other goodies along the way here. And yeah, just in total, like I said, you'll be able to hit basically everything here other than the diamond and the missing passives. But again, you would only need 1 extra node, and if you have the Insidious 6 built up, you're going to hit everything, right? You're going to hit everything and get everything on there. And every time this comes back, it's literally just, you know, you're collecting ions and you're collecting well, actually that's kind of it. Everything else is kind of like the ions and the diamonds and all that stuff. But anyways, this video has ran longer than I wanted, so I apologize for that. But otherwise, guys, I hope this has made sense. Thunderstrike Raids is coming back for the second run of it. Depending on when your alliance might have launched it, it's either later on today, or maybe if you launch it the day after. But just keep in mind, there is 2 more runs of it, and I hope this has helped you guys out. Hopefully this gives you guys a better idea idea of who to use, how many characters you need. And otherwise, guys, if you have any comments below, anything you want to, if you have questions, please leave them below. Otherwise, guys, I always have a wonderful time making these videos for you guys. I hope this was helpful. Hope you guys found it useful. Otherwise, guys, it's always a pleasure. I want to thank you again for everything, and I will see you guys in the next one.